I hope you are very fine. So today we are going to start next lesson, that is from Civics 4th chapter, Key Elements of a Democratic Government. Key elements of a democratic government. So we are going to see what are the key elements, main factors of democratic government. Okay. So listen carefully and take a rough note or paper and take pen and start taking notes while I am taking the class. Okay. So while you are listening the class, take notes. Okay. What are the points you are feeling important, just take down. Okay. So let's start. So first, key elements of democratic country. So that's our topic. So first we are going to see example of South Africa. Okay, we are going to see about South Africa. South Africa is a country of several races. Several races means many different color peoples, black people, white people, and from different areas, people that they belong to different race. Okay, so it has several races including African American people who belong to South Africa. So they call it as African American, that means they belong to South Africa, and the whites who came to settle there. Okay, who came from other place to settle, the Indians who came as laborers and traders and so on. Okay, so these people were there, so many different color and different background people, many people are there. Okay, earlier the country was governed by apartheid laws. What law, my dear children? Apartheid laws. Okay, it was governed earlier, not now. Earlier this law was followed in South Africa. So what is this apartheid law? Apartheid means separation on the basis of race. So according to the race, okay, color and background, they are separated. Okay, African people were divided into white, African American, Indian and other races. So they are divided into many races. Understood, children? Very good. According to that law, these races were not allowed to mingle with each other, live near each other, or even use common facilities. So these different races, that people should not mingle, should not talk with each other, should not live with each other, and should not use the common things. Okay, the African National Congress, a group of people, led the struggle against this apartheid. So one group of people, that group name is African National Congress. They started on struggle, on fight against this law, with their most well-known leader, Nelson Mandela. Have you heard about Nelson Mandela? Okay, he is the leader of that group. Fought against this law for many years, not only single year, for many years they were fighting against this law. Finally, they succeeded in 1994. When they succeeded? 1994. South Africa became a democratic country in which people of all races were considered equal. So, they fought for many years and finally in 1994, these people got success and South Africa became a democratic country where everyone is treated equally. There is no difference. Everyone is treated equally. Next. Now South Africa story ended. Now participation. Why do we have regular elections? Why we are having regular election? What is the use of that? It was already discussed in the earlier chapter. Who make decisions in a democracy? People. We people are the main in making decision in a democratic country. So we people elect leaders to represent them via election. So how we elect our leaders? Through elections. through elections. These leaders can also take decisions on behalf of people. So, we elect our leaders through elections. By voting, we will select one as leader. That leader can take decision behalf of us. In our place, that leader can take decision. It is believed that these representatives, these leaders, will keep in mind the voice and interest of the people. So, it is believed, we believe that the leaders we select will respect our voice and our interest and will talk for us. Understood, children? Very good. Next, every is elected for a fixed period. So, it's not like the government will rule till the end. They have a fixed period. So, in India, it is for 5 years. How many years, my dear children? 5 years. And every government that is elected allowed to stay in power for only that power. So, in that election, we will elect one leader. He have the power to rule only for 5 years. And again, after that, what will come? Again, one election. Then, what will be there? If we want the same government to continue, we will put the vote for them. Or else we want to change, we will put the vote to another. And like that, we will elect the leader. Understood, children? So, what is the period? 5 years in India. Okay? In this way, regular elections limit the power of government. So, like this, regular elections limit the power of government. So, if we want the same government, we will put vote for the same leader, or else we want to change, we will put for the opposite one. Okay. So, next is other ways of participating. So, one way is like we are putting vote, that is one way of participation, and other ways of participating. What are the other ways in that we are participating in the democratic country? The other way is elections are held once in every 5 years. So, every 5 years once election will be held. Beside we have one rule. Apart from voting, we have some other roles also, that is, people can participate in the process of the government by taking interest in its operation and criticizing it when required. So, if government is making one rule, new rule, if we don't like, if we people think like that is not good, then we will start going against it. We will start raising our voice against that rule. Okay. For example, in August 2005, when the ruling government means the government who is ruling the country. So, they increased the money people had to pay for the electricity. So, they increased the money to pay for the electricity. So, what happened? Since they have increased the money for electricity, they all the people, they expressed their disapproval. They told like it is unfair. To increasing the electricity bill is unfair. They started a rally and organized a signature campaign. Like everyone signed in that form and they have sent to the government. Even though they tried, government tried to explain this is only for this we have increased. Even though because of people's decision, they listened to people and they withdraw that law. They didn't increase the money for electricity. So, look at this picture. This picture is a rally. Some rally. This is a rally. So, police are protecting that. So, this is an example for a rally. So, we people have to be very alert. Whatever the decision government is taking, we have to be alert. We have to be so next time when one rally is passing through you, don't just think that is a rally. So, what is the reason behind that rally? Just make you alert, okay? So, that make you give some sense how the government is works, okay? Another way to participate people organize themselves into social movements. Okay, like they will have some social movements like helping, and if there any rule is against them, they will raise their voice for them. Okay, then members of minority community like Dalits, Adivasis, women and other often participate in this manner. Okay. If a people of a country are alert and interested in how the government is run, the democratic character of the government expected to be stronger. Okay, so if every people are alert and taking interest in how the government is run, then the democratic character will be stronger. Need to resolve conflict. So if any conflict is happening, conflict means fight or misunderstanding, and so that have to be resolved by the government. So it is seen that conflicts can lead to violence and death. So it is like conflicts sometimes lead to violence and sometimes to death. Okay. So when one group decides that it is all right to use force to prevent the other group from protesting. So like some two groups are there and one group is thinking like they have the right to use the force against the other group, and if fight happen, what will be happening? Sometimes death also will be happen. So this conflicts, when conflicts were there, this government has the right to control that. Okay. Conflicts arise when people of varied cultures, religions, regions or economic backgrounds do not get along with each other, or when among them feel they are being discriminated against. So whenever this conflicts happen, that conflicts happen between varied culture people, various religion people, different region people, different economic people, and if some people are feeling like they are like discriminated against these people. So because of these problems, sometimes some conflict fights were able to happen. So people may use violent methods, okay, like throwing stones or using sticks or some violent methods they may take to settle their difference. So that will make all the other people in tension and fear. If a fight is happening in your place, you will be feeling tension, right? Or sometimes they will throw stone off our house, so on our house. So sometimes they will burn something. So you will get tension and fear, right? So our government is responsible for resolving conflicts. So who is responsible for resolving conflicts? Who solve the problem? Who is responsible? Our government. Religious processions and celebrations also lead to conflicts sometimes. Sometimes religious processions or some meetings or some celebrations, during that time also sometimes fight will be happening, conflicts will be happening. Okay. So they have to be very alert, government have to be very alert in protecting all the people. For example, the route a procession takes may lead to a conflict. The government, particularly the police, who will protect in this manner? Police. I have seen in this image, right? So police play an important role in getting representatives of concerned communities to meet and try to solve the solution. So what will happen? This police, they will try to meet the main people and they will solve the matter. They will protect. Okay. Next, sometimes even rivers will become the reason for the conflict, for the fight is between two states. Okay. For example, we all know Kaveri river. Okay, that is the problem between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So in that manner, our central government, they will take the decision for equally sharing of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Okay. So how this problem arose? The origins of legal dispute over Kaveri, that means Kaveri river, they have like legal dispute. Okay, that is like this much have to give for Tamil Nadu and this much is for Karnataka. They will be having like one agreement. That came to an end. Then the water stored in Krishna Raja Sagara Dam, that is in Karnataka. Krishna Raja Sagara Dam, that is in Karnataka, that is used for irrigating a number of districts in Bengaluru. Okay, a number of districts and meeting the needs of many people in Bengaluru. So in Karnataka, this dam is the main source, like Krishna Raja Sagara Dam. Similarly, in Tamil Nadu, this Kaveri water is stored in Mettur Dam in Tamil Nadu. That is very useful for the crops grown in the delta region of our state. Okay, so in two places also this water is necessary. The conflict because both dams are on the same river. So problem is like the both dam, this Sagara Dam and also in the Mettur Dam, this both dam are on the same river Kaveri. The downstream, who is in the downstream dam, our Tamil Nadu. Downstream dam, our Tamil Nadu is there, and upstream Karnataka is there. So if Karnataka release the water only, we can get the water. Okay. So the downstream dam in Tamil Nadu could only be filled up if the water is released from the upstream, that is in Karnataka. Okay. So so that both states' need can be satisfied. So this led to a conflict, to a fight. Then the central government took decision. Central government in the sense Prime Minister, okay, the central government, everyone, they took step to set this issue for fair distribution between two states. Understood, children? Very good. Then equality and justice. Equality and justice. So equality and justice are like inseparable. We cannot separate this equality and justice. They are like twins. Okay. This is the main element of our democratic government. Okay. Previously untouchability is there. Okay. It's like untouchability means they will keep the low caste people, they will not go near to the people also, like untouchability, they will not go near. Okay. Now that laws are banned. Okay. We have law to prevent that untouchability. Now we have new law that prevent this untouchability. And there were earlier they need education. We don't have proper education, transport, we don't have proper medical facilities. And now we have every new laws that help us to be followed equally and have justice. Okay. Dr. Ambedkar and many others like him realized that such practices must not continue and justice only be achieved when people are treated equally. So like Dr. Ambedkar and many people, they forced only if people are treated equally, our country will be growing up. Okay. So this is the chapter we have seen today. So the main thing is equality and justice. Okay. So what are the things we have seen today? What is the topic of our lesson? Key elements of a democratic country, democratic government. Okay. So in that, what we have seen first? We have seen example of South Africa, how apartheid law was there, how that was abolished. About Nelson Mandela, we have seen in that topic. Then we have seen about our India, how we are having elections, how we are electing the leader. Then in other way, how we are participating in the government, like rally, protesting. Okay. Then we have seen like conflicts. If fight is happening, who will be there to resolve? Main police. They will be talking to the main people and they will solve the problem and protect all the people. And last, finally, we have seen about equality and justice. Okay, children. So thank you, children. Thank you for listening. If you have any doubt, just listen this video once again. You will understand everything. Okay. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.